What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk about Nubia versus Storm. Nubia is a Nubian goddess. She is Wonder Woman's twin sister. She is also from this Amazonian tribe. She has been trained as a warrior. She can fly. She's invulnerable. She has the lasso of truth. She's basically just the black Wonder Woman. Alright. She is pretty awesome. She's a kind of unknown character, but yeah. She's somebody that would definitely be able to go against Storm and not be, just because out of every black female superhero, Storm is kind of the top one. And now learning about Nubia, I'm going to say that she is a worthy opponent for not only Storm, but all of the X-Men. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to get into Storm. Alright, Storm, we all know, is Aurora Monroe. She is from Egypt, and I thought that's kind of funny that you have Nubia, who is obviously Nubian, and Storm, who is from Cairo, Egypt. So I think that's kind of cool there. Storm is obviously a weather goddess. She has the power of flight. She can control all weather: heat, cold, rain, mist, whatever. Lightning, it doesn't matter. She is the most powerful mutant that I think so far. I mean, if she decides to hit you with -0, below 100 degrees below zero cold, you're dead. She can defeat anyone with lightning, or she can just create a huge hurricane and just blow them away. So it's probably going to be hard for anyone to beat Storm if she's used right. Most of the time they just kind of give her a girly role, and she doesn't use her powers, her full abilities. But if it was used right, and in this occasion, I'm going to have to say they would be used right, because in my opinion, Nubia versus Storm, even though Nubia does have like the strength of Superman. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about Ebon versus John Stewart, the Green Lantern. First, I'm going to start off with John Stewart, the Green Lantern. That's the black version of the Green Lantern. He was in the military and he was chosen to be the Green Lantern. I think this is better than that Ryan Reynolds version of the Green Lantern that was awful. They need to bring John Stewart onto the big screen. I've already seen Hawk Girl on the CW TV series, so they can go ahead and bring in John Stewart. That would be pretty awesome. He has the ring of power. That ring, anything he can imagine, it can happen. So he can pretty much, make anything with that ring. And he can fly, he can create force fields. Green Lantern is one of the most powerful DC characters, Superman level power characters. He can travel through space without, he can breathe in space because he can create his own force field and he can fly. All right, Ebon. Ebon had the same backstory as Static Shock. He was one of the Bang Babies. He was there when gas came out and they turned into these mutants. He's the brother of Rubber Band Man. His power is that he can manipulate shadows and he can mesmerize people. He can bring you into this whole shadow world. He can just disappear into the shadows and he can grow into enormous sizes, and he's a very powerful character. Ebon is sometimes seen as a bad guy, but he also be seen as a good guy. He's one of those in between characters. He's fighting for his own kind and to build up his own through his squad or whatever. All right, in my opinion, Ebon versus John Stewart, the Green Lantern. It's a close one, but I gotta give it to John Stewart, the Green Lantern. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna be talking about Spike versus Aqualad. All right, first I'm gonna be starting off with Spike. Spike has had a couple of different versions. There's been an X Factor version, and there's been an X-Men Evolution version. There's been a couple of different movie versions, but I'm going to be sticking with the X-Men Evolution version. In X-Men Evolution, Spike is the nephew of Storm. He is sent to the mansion to learn how to use his powers. Spike has the power to throw spikes from his arms. At one point, he even had an exoskeleton, and with the ability to make those spikes explode upon contact. Spike has blonde hair. That's kind of weird, but you know, he's kind of like Wolverine, but he throws his spikes. So no instantaneous healing, but it's kind of like that. All right, and then you have Aqualad. Aqualad is the son of Black Manta. That is the villain of Aquaman. All right, his power is that he can control and manipulate water. He can breathe underwater, and he's not invulnerable, but he's kind of super strong. Not super strong, but he can withstand more than the average person. His weakness is heat and dehydration. He was the leader of the Young Justice team, and he went on to actually be a villain or disguise himself as a villain. This is one of the more powerful teenage characters, and a black guy with blonde hair as well. All right, so yeah, Young Justice was a good TV show. He was the leader. In my opinion, Spike versus Aqualad, I gotta give it to Spike because he's just better in my opinion. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna be talking about Bishop versus the Falcon. All right, first I'm gonna start with the Falcon. Falcon obviously has wings, he can fly. He has a drone that he flies with. He has missiles attached to his armor. He also has 2 side pistols that he's very accurate with. He's a soldier, so he was trained in the hand-to-hand combat. He is also known for fighting alongside Captain America, so he's had plenty of experience in battle. He is the next Captain America after Captain America dies, so he is a big deal. He's in all the movies. He has his own toy line. Not much else to say about Falcon, man. He's pretty unstoppable. He has the aerial kung fu and the guns and the drone is amazing because it's like, you know, he can fly and get you in the drone from the other side. All right, let's talk about Bishop. Bishop is a time traveler, and Bishop, his power is that he can absorb energy and throw it back at you with this blaster, or he can just blast you with his hands. All right, his story is that he's an Aboriginal from like Australia, but he's from the future, and he was sent back to the past to stop some things from happening. So, because like all the X-Men were killed, so he went back to the past, and he also fought Apocalypse in the axis of time. So he's a big deal in the X-Men universe. He's a time traveler with this energy mutant power that he can like blast energy. If you try to hit him with an energy blast, he'll blast it back at you. But his main thing is that he's a time traveler, and you know, he's an X-Man. So my analysis, I think Falcon would win because he just has more weapons and he doesn't have any energy blast, so he wouldn't have any. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about Rocket of Milestone Comics versus Misty Knight of Marvel Comics. First, I'm going to start with Rocket. Rocket is the sidekick to Icon. Icon is the Superman type character, and Rocket is his female sidekick. She was given a belt by Hardware, and this belt was made from Icon's ship, and it controls kinetic energy. Her kinetic energy can throw blast. She can block projectile items. She can make force fields. She once used her force field to protect a small crowd of people. Alright, she can use these kinetic powers, but they make her weak, so she tries not to use so much at one time. But she also has the ability of flight, and she was an acrobat, so she is very agile. Her opponent is Misty Knight. Misty Knight was a police officer, and she lost her arm during trying to save some children from a grenade blast. They gave her a synthetic arm, a bionic arm from Tony Stark, and it's made of some high-tech vibranium technology. The arm gives her precision perfect aim. All right, and it vibrates, and she can break down the metal of any metal that she touches with this arm. So she can turn a metal into liquid just by touching it with this arm, and she gives her super strength. And she's basically loosely based on like the Foxy Brown characters of the blaxploitation movies of the 70s. Misty Knight is trained, of course, in hand-to-hand combat and martial arts, weapons, since she's a police officer. In my opinion, Rocket versus Misty Knight, I think Rocket might win. She has a way. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about Black Lightning versus the Bronze Tiger. All right. First, I'm going to be starting off with Black Lightning. Black Lightning is a super intelligent, super athletic, super powerful metahuman. He has from birth the ability to control lightning and electricity. He was a school teacher that noticed that his faculty or his staff and his students were being attacked by some gang called the 100. All right, he never really wanted to reveal his powers, but in order to help his city, he decided to don the outfit and reveal his powers of lightning. All right, he is kind of a powerful guy. He was powerful enough to restart Superman's heart, and as far as hand-to-hand combat goes, he was trained by Batman. So with that a Olympic level physique and his super intelligence and those powers, he is definitely not somebody that you want to run across. All right, now let's go with the Bronze Tiger. Bronze Tiger once saw someone breaking into his house when he was 10 years old and promptly got a knife and killed him. His rage led him to want to learn more martial arts. He learned martial arts in America, but then moved to China where he was trained to be a deadly assassin. He kills people all around the world. He has no superhuman powers, but he did beat Batman in a hand-to-hand fight. So that will let you know that his level of martial arts skill. All right, the Bronze Tiger, his story, is that he went to the Suicide Squad because he was trained as an assassin. He was brainwashed, so he did get his mind back after he went to the Suicide Squad, and he he's pretty much like a black Batman. He's just an assassin that put on the outfit, and he can't really be fucked with. And when it goes to a fight, all right, Black Lightning was trained by Batman, and Bronze Tiger beat. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about Jax versus Balrog. also known as M. Bison. Actually, we're going to start with Jax. Jax is a special agents officer, and he's also known as Jackson Briggs. He has bionic arms. He's fought in the Mortal Kombat tournament. All right, he has some special abilities. Anybody in the Mortal Kombat tournament is not just a regular mortal. They do have special abilities. So his martial arts and boxing abilities are above average. But with the bionic arms, that give him a considerable strength boost. All right, this guy is just a special force officer, so he knows how to use a lot of different weapons. Trained in hand-to-hand combat. And basically, this dude can rip your arms off and beat you in the face with them. So you don't want to fuck with him. He's a bad dude. All right, now his opponent is Balrog. Now earlier I called him M. Bison because he's basically based on Mike Tyson, and his name was going to be M. Bison, but they changed it to Balrog in order to avoid a publicity scandal, because during the time Mike Tyson was involved in some kind of a rape scandal. But M. Bison, Balrog, whatever, this guy is a boxer, undefeated boxer who decided to enter the Street Fighter tournament. And he's above average fighter. He can throw like hurricanes with his punches. Like, he punches so fast that the wind will create a hurricane. And he's one of the more formidable foes in Street Fighter. You don't want to get hit by him because he will definitely knock you the fuck out. All right, now in my analysis, I gotta go with Jax, because Jax has these arms and he's more trained in killing. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about Black Dynamite versus Afro Samurai. Alright, first I'm going to talk about Afro Samurai. As a child, he witnessed his father, who was the #1 headband, be killed in front of his eyes. At that moment, he became the #2 headband, and his life mission was to become the #1 headband and avenge his father's death. He eventually went through waves and waves of samurai throughout his life until he became the #1 headband. And this is a bad dude. I've seen him run on missiles. I've seen him fight like crazy cyborgs, and he's super fast and he's super powerful. I don't know if he has any superpowers. He's just a regular guy who trained really hard throughout his whole life to become the #1 headband, and he's pretty much unstoppable. Not anybody that comes in his path will get sliced in half. His weapon of choice is, of course, the sword, because he's a samurai and he lives by that code. And there's pretty much, he's beaten everyone that has come in front of him. He's never lost, not once. All right, and let's get into Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite is a ex-CIA agent. He used to be in the military. He is a kung fu master. His weapon of choice is the handgun. He kicks ass. I've seen him kick ass through waves and waves of bad guys. His main enemy is the man, the white man, the cracker holding us down. He uses nunchucks. I've seen him do amazing things, almost superhuman. You would think just like Afro Samurai, he has superpowers, but no, he's just one bad mother. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite has kicked the president's ass. That's how bad this man is. He's not playing no games. All right. He knows kung fu. He's a CIA agent, so he's a weapons expert, and he's just pretty much unstoppable. And all right, so when I say Black Dynamite versus Afro Samurai, two big black dudes with afros, it's kind of hard. I think I'm gonna have to go with Afro Samurai because I've seen him beat Black Dynamite type characters so many times, but Black Dynamite is not a regular character. So to me, all right, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be talking about Jesus versus Horus, and as Jesus, also known as Yahshua, and Horus is also known as Heru. Okay, let's start off with Jesus. In the Bible, it said he has hair white like snow, eyes of fire, and skin of burnt bronze. All right, I just had to clear that up because it's a misconception that he is a pale skin with blonde hair and blue eyes, and that is not what the Bible describes him as. All right, his story is that he was born of a virgin. He is the Son of God, the only begotten Son of God. All right, he has the power to walk on water. He can turn different water into wine, like he can morph things. All right, he was crucified and died for all mankind, and he was resurrected, or is going to be resurrected to get revenge on those who went against him. All right, and he's said to have the power to speak, and once his words are spoken, then all the people that went against him or the demons, they will die. All right, so that's a pretty powerful move. All right, let's go into Horus. Horus is the son of Isis and Osiris. All right, and Osiris was killed by Seth, Osiris's brother. And when Horus grew up, he found out that his uncle killed his father, and he wanted to take revenge on that. And he finally did get revenge, and he merged with the Falcon and became a god. Alright, he has power of flight. He has the scepter which he castrated Seth with. He is obviously a god, so he is immortal. And what else about his story? Yeah, that's pretty much it. He avenged his father's death. So he was raised up as a warrior, and he became king. He became a god. Alright, when I say Horus versus Jesus in a fight, I have to go with Horus because he is a trained warrior, and Jesus has never really been in a fight, and he's only been killed. So I have to go with. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about Black Panther versus Batman. Okay, first I'm going to be talking about Black Panther. Black Panther is T'Challa, the king of Wakanda. He took on the mantle of Black Panther after his father died. His powers are vibranium. Vibranium is the rarest metal on the planet, and it is indestructible. It's very powerful metal, and he uses it in his claws and his suit to make him invulnerable. He could take a 50 cal shot to the chest and not feel anything. Alright, this guy also has the power of the Black Panther god. He can turn into a panther and have animalistic rage and just power. He can climb up walls. He runs faster than cars. He's super agile. You know, all this attributes of a cat, but just super amplified with this high technology. He's a billionaire, like not just a regular billionaire, but like $500 billion. He's the king of a country. He has his own army. Okay, this guy is super powerful. He is not only a superhero, but he is a warrior and a king, so he has more responsibilities than the average superhero. Alright, and then you have Batman. Batman is Bruce Wayne. He was a child, and he witnessed his mother and father being killed. Then he had an accident involving bats, and that kind of messed with his head. Then he dedicated the rest of his life to trying to clean the streets up so that nobody else would ever see their parents killed in that way. He inherited billions of dollars from his parents and had a suit and a car and all kind of crazy technology to help him fight crime. He's a master of martial arts. He went off and studied with the Guild of Assassins, and he's a very formidable foe. He can lift a lot of weight. He can dodge, the Omega Beam from Darkseid. So he's a serious guy. He doesn't have any magic or anything like that, but all the explosives and the martial arts that he does, and he's a detective, very intelligent guy. He's very hard to beat. He's even beat Superman. So if you can go blow for blow with Superman as a mortal, you're a pretty impressive specimen. Batman is one of the all-time great superheroes. Alright, when you put Batman next to Black Panther in a one-on-one fight. What's up, y'all? Tonight I'm going to talk about Mr. T versus Zeus, or Debo. First, I'm going to talk about Debo. Debo is known as the backyard bully. He comes around, you know what I'm saying? You gotta hide your jewels. This nigga is gonna beat you up. He's gonna take your shit. Alright? We got this nigga, he was in No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. He was a bully to Hulk Hogan. So you know if he can bully around Hulk Hogan, that's a scary dude. He got the one eye that's like looking one way and looking the other way. Yo, you don't want to mess with this dude. He's a big dude. I mean, he's kind of old now, but back in the day, if he stepped in your area, you didn't want to fuck with this dude. All right, he was in some other stuff. I can't really remember it right now, but the most memorable stuff he was in was Friday, and he was like, everybody was afraid of him. Craig barely got away with his life when he fought Debo. Alright, let's get into Mr. T. Mr. T was one of my favorite childhood characters. Alright, I pity the fool. You know, he had all the gold on. He was just a big black dude. He had the cartoon show. He had the mohawk going on. I think he was trying to touch into the Native American thing. A lot of people weren't hip to that back then. That he was like trying to tell you that Native Americans are Negroes. But he was on the A-Team. The A-Team was a big deal. You know, he always beat people ass. And just to see him go against Zeus, because like Mr. T went against Rocky and Zeus went against Hulk Hogan. So, you know, they were both like these big black guys that were like the things that these white guys had to overcome. But who would guess? Who would win with Mr. T and Debo? Alright, I gotta say Mr. T would win because he is the good guy and the bad guys never win. Alright, Zeus is a big scary guy, but hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna talk about Blade versus Deadpool. Alright, first I'm gonna talk about Deadpool. Deadpool is also known as the Merc with the Mouth. He is a mercenary that came down with cancer. He tried to get this cancer healed by being experimented on. The experimentation did not work. It actually made his cancer worse, but it also gave him extraordinary powers. His powers of strength, speed, agility, and he can heal himself. But with these strengths, he has also gained a new insanity. And in the comic book world, he can talk to the reader. So he often breaks the fourth wall. He's also has a magic satchel. This is like where he can pull a bazooka out of a small backpack. Completely outlandish and cartoonish, but he often wins because of his unpredictable manner. Deadpool is definitely a formidable foe, and if someone pays him to kill you, you will probably end up dead. You're gonna be dead unless you have somebody protecting you, maybe like Deathstroke, which he's kind of a copy of. Alright, now let's get into talking about Blade. Blade is the Daywalker. He is a half human, half vampire hybrid. His mother was bitten when he was being born, so he did not turn into a full vampire. He has all the strengths of vampires: speed, agility, strength, none of their weaknesses. He can go out in the daytime and garlic and crosses, none of that affect him. Now I say if he has all the strength of a vampire, he should be able to fly and turn into a bat as well. But they don't really give him that power, and I don't know. But in the anime series, they do give him the power to throw chi energy blast through his sword, so I thought that was interesting. He can make a copy of himself, so you think you're hitting him and it's not him, he's behind you and he slices your head off. And he also has another attack where it looks like 1,000 blades are coming at you. Blade in the anime series was pretty powerful, and then there was Blade in the Fox animated series who had this like a beam sword or some kind of a lightsaber like thing, and he often fights Spider-Man and often beats Spider-Man, which is very interesting because Spider-Man is one of the most loved characters and very powerful, and Blade is also. So, in my opinion, when you put Blade next to Deadpool in a one-on-one fight, I mean, they both have the power to regenerate, they both have super strength, they both, super crazy, but Deadpool is just a little bit crazier. And I think that's what was going to make Blade win, because he's going to take the fight seriously. He's going to take the fight to Deadpool. Alright, what's up guys? I'm going to talk about the Predator versus Luke Cage, the Power Man. Alright, and first I'm going to get into the Predator. His origin is that he is an alien. Amongst a bunch of other aliens, come to use this planet as a hunting ground for another type of alien that they bred to hunt from the Alien movies. Predator is a mean dude. He has a Wolverine type double claw on one arm. He has a shoulder cannon on the other arm, something like War Machine. He can go invisible. He has like a cloaking device. This guy is super strong. He's not an average guy. He may look average. He's not like super huge, but he is bigger than the average guy. He's about like 7 feet tall, so he is intimidating. He has armor, and once he takes off his mask, he has this real ugly face. You are one ugly motherfucker. That's the famous line. Arnold Schwarzenegger barely got away with his life when he went against him, and this guy just tears across anybody. And let's get into Power Man, or Luke Cage. Luke Cage origin is that he was in prison and they were doing experiments on him. Somehow they sabotaged the experiment and he ended up with invulnerable skin and super strength. Alright, this guy is one of the members of the Avengers. He is known as the hero for hire. I guess he doesn't really give a fuck about being a hero. He just wants to get paid. He is on the level as he has gone, blow for blow with the Hulk. And with invulnerable skin, this guy is pretty hard to take down. He doesn't have like super speed and he can't fly or anything, so he's kind of on the mortal range. And when they say invulnerable skin, it always made me wonder, like, well, if you put like a bomb in his mouth, could that explode his head? I mean, his skin is invulnerable, but what about the rest of his organs? So, he's not completely like Superman type power, but he is a force to be reckoned with. I would say more like a juggernaut type power, but he's a bad dude. Alright, well, I would say in my analysis of if Luke Cage was to get into a fight with the Predator, Luke Cage would definitely win, because even though the Predator can cloak and do all. Alright guys, what's up? I'm gonna make a video about Icon versus Anti-Man. No, not Anti-Man, but Blue Marvel. Alright, Anti-Man is Blue Marvel's arch nemesis. That was in my head, but I'm talking about Icon right now. Icon is an alien. He came here from another planet. He was sent here something kind of like Superman, except he's black. And when he was sent to this planet, he was raised as a slave. It was so long time ago when he came to this planet. All right, he got to this planet and he became free, and so people weren't suspicious because he's like almost 100 years old. He basically told everybody that he was his son after they got to a certain point. So he's a Superman type of character, very powerful. He's even fought Superman a couple of times, and that's really pretty much all I got to say about Icon. I mean, he was made by Milestone Comics, so you probably wouldn't have heard about him. His costume could be better in my opinion, but he's a pretty powerful character, and that's why I'm doing this review right now, because you don't really get that many Superman level powerful characters. Alright, Blue Marvel, I really like him more. He got his powers from an experiment. He was experimenting with his arch nemesis, who is Anti-Man, who I mistakenly said at the beginning of the video. Anti-Man, and he became Blue Marvel. Anti-Man's molecular structure isn't stable, and he's kind of crazy. He wants to kill everybody. Blue Marvel is here to stop him. Deeper into Blue Marvel's story, he used to wear a mask, and in his fight with Anti-Man, his mask was taken off, and everyone saw that he was a black man. It was during the 60s. The world wasn't ready for a black superhero, so they made him retire. He did have to come out of retirement to face Anti-Man once again, and that's why I like him better than Icon. His story it's more entertaining, and I think that he would win because his powers came from his intellect. He's not just like a alien. I don't really like the whole I'm an alien and that what makes me more powerful than you. Blue Marvel, he looks cooler, his outfit is better, and he's got that whole I'm a human thing going for him. So that's me. Blue Marvel versus Icon. I really gotta go with Blue Marvel. What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be talking about Dr. Voodoo versus Spawn. Alright, and first I'm gonna get into Spawn. We all know who Spawn is. He made a deal with the devil to come back and see his wife for one last time, and he was given awesome powers. He can fly with his cape, he can throw chains out of his armor, he can heal himself with the undead power, he can sense other evil. He's so powerful that he's even fought God and the devil and won. This guy is pretty powerful. He can be killed even though he's already dead. I think if you had to cut his head off, something like that. But he pretty much never loses to anybody. He's the biggest, baddest, blackest character that they ever came up with, and he kind of got a bad rap because that first movie was kind of horrible. They need a reboot, but overall, the toy line, everything, Spawn is an awesome character, and he definitely deserves an awesome opponent. So, with that said, we should be getting into Brother Voodoo. Brother Voodoo, and he who is now known as Dr. Voodoo, is the Sorcerer Supreme now. Alright, the Sorcerer Supreme is the Doctor Strange who he was. So you know what kind of magical, mystical powers you gotta be. You're on a certain level. That's why I say he has a worthy opponent for Spawn. And his new outfit kind of looks like Spawn's a little bit. People say it's biting, but hey, it does look good. It looks better than his old outfit. And he has the power of flight with his cape. He can shoot lightning with the scepter. He has power over the undead. He can do a lot of different voodoo spells and magic. This guy is super powerful. He's one of the most powerful people in the universe. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and say Brother Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo, with he's obviously the superior being. He has control over the undead, and Spawn is undead. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, alright, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna be making a video about Vixen versus Catwoman. Okay, first I'm gonna be getting into Catwoman. We all know who Catwoman is. She's very beautiful. She was in the old TV show as Eartha Kitt, and she had a movie with Halle Berry. She basically is the female version of Batman. She had a accident involving cats and it screwed up her head. She made a suit that was cat-like and started robbing people, and eventually she became a good guy, but she's basically a cat burglar. She has a whip that she whips people with. She can climb on walls. She's basically a cat lady. Not no real powers. I think she has like some kind of a emerald or something that gives her connection to the cat spirit or something like that. But other than that, she's just like a female Batman, always in an off and on relationship with Batman, and they have a lot of drama going on because she always wants to be a thief and he's trying to save the day. But pretty much, I think Eartha Kitt was probably the best. And now let's go into Vixen. Vixen is from Africa. All right, she has the power of not just cats, but any animal she chooses at that time. One animal at a time, though. And she can like conjure the spirit to give her strength. All right, she could do a lion, a tiger, a bear, anything. She has a new show coming up on CW. I think they could have got a more convincing Vixen. It doesn't really look like the cartoon version, but oh well. She's had a relationship with Green Lantern, John Stewart, the Black Green Lantern, and he dumped her basically for Hawk Girl, which I think is a stupid decision because this is a very powerful woman. All right, and she looks good, better than Catwoman. I don't know. They look pretty much identical, and they're both in DC, so I don't see how they did not cross paths yet. But in my opinion, I like Vixen because she's just way more powerful. I've seen her chop into cement with her bare hands, so that's pretty powerful. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, in the case of Vixen versus Catwoman. What's up guys? Today I'm making a video on Static Shock versus Cyborg. Okay, I'm gonna start off with Cyborg. Cyborg, who started off as Victor Stone, was a football player, 19 years old. He got into a horrible accident, and his father, who is a scientist, fixed him, and he became Cyborg. After he became Cyborg, he joined the Teen Titans, which a lot of people know him from. He has an arm cannon. He can shoot like sound waves from his arm. He can fly. He has control over interdimensional portals. He can boom tube is what they call it. He can go into space. He's pretty powerful. He's the newest member of the Justice League, so he's a big deal. All right. He lost a lot of his body in the accident, but he has, it's not like it's like an alien kind of technology that he's mixed with, so he can morph and assimilate different other technologies into his being. So anything he sees, he can basically control. He's kind of like that guy. All right, let's go into Static Shock. Static Shock, who is Virgil Hawkins, he got into an accident while he was in the middle of some gang fight, and some stuff spilled out, and they all became metahumans. He became the Static Shock. He has the power over static electricity, something like Magneto. He flies on this, I guess it's a street cover, sometimes a garbage can lid, whatever he can get on top of. He can do electromagnetic pulse, right? He can go supernova. He can fly. He can shoot, of course, electricity blast out of his hands. this is one of the most powerful, most popular black teens. Like, these two are both very popular black teens superheroes, and Static Shock seems to be more powerful. He has a larger fan base, I think. But Teen Titans is a pretty big show. Static Shock was a while ago, so I guess Cyborg, and he's been made the part of the Justice League. But in my opinion, let's see, Cyborg could win easily by boom tombing him into deep space. Alright guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna be making a video about John Henry Steele versus Kurt Metcalf, which is his name is Hardware. Alright, let's go into Hardware. Hardware, whose name is Curtis Metcalf, worked for a billionaire, Edwin Alva. And he worked for this billionaire making all these different weapons. And eventually he wanted to get a copyright, a cut of the money. He wanted to get a large part of the money since he's been making all these inventions. And basically Edward Alva basically told him to go fuck himself. You know, you're not gonna get any ownership. You're just a cog in the wheel. You're just a worker. So he didn't take that very well, and he wanted to expose Edwin Alva. So he went on a crusade looking for dirt on him, and he pretty soon found out that Edwin Alva was a international weapons dealer. And then he built a suit to stop him, because he actually tried to turn him into the government, but the government wouldn't stop him because he was too powerful. He was a billionaire. So he built this suit. Suit has a jetpack, it has a sword, he has a chain. It's an awesome suit, and he uses it to fight Edward and Alva and all his other people. Alright, let's go into John Henry. John Henry is actually an American hero, a black American hero. He actually beat a machine that was laying down railroad tracks with his bare hands. You gotta read the story. If you're a black kid in America, you gotta know about John Henry. He's on a stamp, and he was a real person. It was a big deal, and he's actually made into the first black Superman. His story goes that he knew Superman, and Superman once saved his life, and once Superman died in the comic, he worked for a weapons manufacturer, and he decided to take on the mantle of Superman after he created a costume. So he's pretty powerful. He's fought Superman before, after Superman came back to life, and you got to be pretty powerful to punch Superman in the face, and he feels it. And he has this huge hammer that he just breaks anybody down with. Yeah, he can shoot laser repulsor beams with the hammer, and he's pretty fucking powerful. Alright, I gotta give it to your boy John Henry Steele, because he's an American hero. What's up guys? Today I'm going to talk about the man with the iron fist versus Marvel Comics the Iron Fist. Okay, first I'm going to talk about Marvel Comics the Iron Fist. Alright, his origin is that he lived amongst some mystic Oriental martial arts people. Okay, they taught him everything that he knows, every kind of martial arts that the Oriental Himalayan mountains had to teach. And when he got to a certain age, he went into a competition. He fought in this competition and won. And when he won that competition, he won the right to be called the Iron Fist. Alright, and it's not just a mantle as in like he put on a costume. It's a mystical dragon that was a warrior that became a dragon over years. And he embodies the spirit of this dragon. And he takes on the mantle of the Iron Fist. His powers is of chi energy. He can use that chi energy to make solid items. and it's like when with his fist, and he's kind of super strong with that chi energy. He can heal himself with that chi energy, and he is a formidable foe. Now let's talk about the man with the iron fist. The man with the iron fist was born a slave. He was granted his freedom by the slave master on the slave master's deathbed. When he went to go get his freedom, he was denied his freedom and beaten. But he knew that he was free because he had the paper and he wouldn't accept it. He killed the guy in the process and escaped on a boat. The boat landed in China somewhere, and he ended up being a blacksmith. Right, and he learned a lot of different martial arts styles and things from them while he was there. After a while, he was making his tools for people. He ended up getting his arms cut off by making weapons for the wrong people. All right, he is a blacksmith, so he's made 2 new hands, iron fists, and he uses chi energy to move the hands and strike with very powerful blows. The man with the iron fist is one of my favorite martial arts movies, and when I put up Iron Fist versus the man with the iron fist, I gotta go with your boy RZA.